I'm Lauren Sidney.
I'm Sharon Gless.
And I'm Tyne Daly. And this is Showbiz Today.
Don't do it. He's going to deny it, and he's going to resent you for accusing him.
Too bad. Douglas Crane won't be my best friend. I could live with his resentment.
Well, then think about me. You're going to go blast him. I'm the one who's going to take the heat.
No argument about it. TV's top women cops are back on the beat. Holly is haunted and Sigourney is stalked by a serial killer in Copycat. And we go shopping for the perfect Halloween costume with some celebrity assistance.
Woo, that stuff is cool. St. Patrick, I think it's chemical. We're having a chemical peel, you know?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Showbiz Today. Jim Murray is still on vacation, so helping me with our show today is Sharon Gless and Tyne Daly with a cold, two fabulous women and troopers. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Now, later we're going to talk about your new CBS Cagney and Lacey made-for-TV movie. Now, they were two of the strongest women TV characters.
Thank you. We like to think so.
And you're often on the trail of a deranged killer. Well, not often, but sometimes on the trail of a deranged killer.
Yes, we dealt with our share of bad guys, yes.
Well, in the new thriller Copycat, Holly Hunter and Sigourney Weaver are two strong women who have to deal with a psycho killer played by the very sweet Harry Connick Jr.
That's a very good cast.
And Cynthia Tornquist met with them for this report.
There's a serial killer out there who strangled 3 women. He's going to do it again.
Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter star in this thriller about a race to stop a serial killer. Weaver plays a criminal psychologist who retires after one of her subjects tries to kill her. The actress prepared for the role by consulting real-life forensic psychiatrist Park Dietz, the man who interviewed serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer.
I watched a lot of tapes of Park interviewing people. And he was, someone would tell him something just dreadful, and he'd just pick up his coffee and go. And then he'd ask a very technical question about how they did it. I found it very difficult to deal with, and it was helpful to me to work with him.
For Holly Hunter, who plays a detective, much of the research was hands-on experience.
I hung around with a couple of homicide investigators near downtown L.A. In a district where they were going out on, at the most, maybe 8 murder calls a week.
Hey, Doc.
Musician Harry Connick Jr. plays a convicted killer who may hold the clue to this mystery.
You look at a lot of the people who are infamous for committing these crimes, and they're not the kind of people you expect them to be, Most of them are fairly neat and fairly articulate.
9 out of 10 serial killers are white males, aged 20 to 35, just like these. Albert DeSalvo, Bianchi and Buono, Berkowitz, Dahmer, Ted Bundy. They were quiet, unassuming, even nice.
Copycat is directed by John A. Meal and pays homage to the thrillers of Alfred Hitchcock.
Any concern that by making a film about a copycat killer that you might trigger some nut out there?
There are no new ideas for serial killers to be found in this movie. I think the movies that are to be deplored are the ones that make violence look like fun or look like it's glamorous.
There's nothing attractive about the violence depicted in Copycat. Cynthia Tornquist, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
Looks a little scary.
No, it's not about us.
Ooh, spooky.
Well, speaking of spooky, Sharon, I know that you starred in The Revenge of Stepford Wives.
Yes, one of my greats, with Julie Kavner.
And Tyne, this could be one of your greats. You're about to star in the TV version of the play of Bye Bye Birdie.
Yes, with Mr. Jason Alexander.
Now, the networks often try to turn successful movies into successful TV series also.
Yes, they do. They try and they try. In fact, they're very trying.
Nonetheless, Paul Vercammon reports that CBS is giving it a shot again this season, which is more than what they've been doing.
You killed this idiot! You killed my wife, didn't you?
We've seen the transition from small screen show to the big screen reach smashing success. Dozens of times at the movie theater, take The Fugitive. But that other direction from movie hit to thriving television series just doesn't work too often.
Did you get me that way?
In Working Girl, Melanie Griffith lured moviegoers to theaters.
I'll tell you why nobody's here.
But a pre-star status Sandra Bullock couldn't capture viewers in the short-lived TV show. Other failures include Baghdad Cafe, Parenthood, and Gung Ho.
The movie experience is sort of a single, standalone experience, and when you're talking about television, it has to be something that could be sustained over and over again, week after week. It makes it hard to maintain it over a long period of time.
That must have been quite an act you put on before the grand jury.
This season, John Grisham's The Client, the TV show, stars Jo Beth Williams as Reggie Love, the family law attorney.
You get anywhere near my client again without my permission,
Williams praises Susan Sarandon's Oscar-nominated performance as Love in the movie, but believes the TV show can further develop the characters.
If the show is successful, people identify every week with those characters, and they get to know those characters in a way you never get to know film characters, because you only spend 2 hours with those characters.
Should The Client stay in session, it would join The Odd Couple, Fame, Lassie, and MASH as the exception that performed first in the box office and then in the living room.
MASH is unusual in that I think over the years, probably more people are seeing it that never saw the film, you know, in the first place. So it holds up on its own, not as an adaptation, but just as a series.
Well, if I'd known everyone was going to yell at me, I never would have come to this war.
The creator of MASH, the TV show, believes the program survived on the operating table because of first-rate actors and producers.
You really have to make the people think, I think, or you convince them and show them that this is just top drawer all the way, that it has feature film values, production values, including casting, which MASH always did.
But MASH is hardly the rule, and now The Client will try to follow its trail from successful book to movie to TV hit. Paul Verkammen, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
Coming up, fasten your seatbelts. Cagney and Lacey are back fighting crime in prime time, and the eerie new film Powder sprinkled with supernatural touches.
Someday in the future, every car will be maintained by Precision Tune. Every brake job, oil change, and scheduled maintenance service will be performed by our skilled technicians at prices that are the envy of dealerships. All backed by our 12-month, 12,000-mile guarantee, leaving tow trucks free to spend their time on more artistic pursuits. Precision Tune, a lot more than tune-ups.
Well, money is pretty important in a family this size. So when Elizabeth lost the $10 bill her grandmother had given her for her birthday, I kept thinking, oh, please, please, somebody bring that $10 bill, because I knew I could not replace it. When we got ready to check out, the girl at customer service said, you put out your hand. So she put out her hand like this. And she said, oh, no, put out both hands. And she filled it with dimes and nickels and quarters. The associates had taken up a collection and replaced her money. And she said, it doesn't matter where it came from. We just want you to know that we care about you.
Rheem is ready to launch a new era in furnaces.
Begin countdown. 5.
5 years in planning.
4.
4 years in development.
3.
3 years in listing.
2.
2 years in field testing.
1.
Now there's only one choice in high-efficiency furnaces. Quiet, tough, reliable. The Rheem 90 Plus furnace.
Special financing now available on any Rheem furnace purchased.
Now just because you wear lipstick doesn't mean he has to.
Revlon creates Color Stay, color that stays on your lips all day.
And won't kiss off on him.
Revlon Color Stay Lip Color.
Revlon. Weekends in October, watch CNN Travel Guide, and you could win a Royal Caribbean cruise for 2, or other great prizes from Floaters. Look for details at Passport to the Sea displays in participating bookstores. Enter today.
Gigi Cardenas is a lesbian. Her girlfriend runs a travel agency, and she got in big trouble because someone accused her of sending police business her way. I mean, she was cleared, but...
You think that's any of our concern?
Of course not. That's why it's so much fun to know.
This is everybody's nightmare. You know that, don't you?
I'm sure she's a very worthwhile person.
People snooping around in confidential files like they're a Jackie Collins novel.
Chris Cagney and Mary Beth Lacey are back, and they're better than ever in a new TV movie airing Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on CBS. Now, ladies, there is some other sporting event that's going to be opposite you. Just tell our viewers why they should be watching this TV movie.
Instead of the national sport?
That's true.
Yeah.
Better acting.
Yeah. There's that. No, but the real reason, I know this from my producer, is that baseball was not meant to be on television. Baseball is much better if you go to the park, have a hot dog, see the green grass and all that stuff. Baseball should never have been on television. It's a mistake. So it won't work as well. But what we do works very well, you see, because it's made for television. It's supposed to be on television.
And our movie has better acting.
Yeah, of course. Now, for the last 2 weeks, you all have been together promoting this movie. What is it like just being on the road, both of you together, 24 hours a day?
Well, not 24. We actually get separate rooms in the hotel and stuff.
Right.
But
we've done this before. We're not new at this.
Has it changed through the years, just selling the product?
No, it's about the same. You go to cities and you talk to anybody who'll listen. It's a tradition in the theater that you go to the town square and you beat the drum very loudly and you say, "Come see our show, come see our show." And this is kind of the modern version of that.
Now, some of our viewers...
Drumming up business, it's called.
They may not know that Sharon's husband is the producer of this particular show. So how is the chemistry and the dynamics of that? Because you're actually 3 on the road.
You mean Travel with the Bickersons?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, I think it's easier not being married to the producer when you're traveling the road because he goes out of his way to be solicitous to Tyne.
He's very nice to me.
And do you make that up to Sharon?
No. See, no, I just like to watch her get pissed off.
Yeah.
Here he is throwing his coat in my path while I go over the pipe. He went out and bought me all sorts of cold medicine so that I could sound better than I do now.
Yeah. And so that Sharon doesn't get it.
That's right, Sharon, that's true.
That's true.
Now, this is in the form of a TV movie. You are used to doing it as a TV 1-hour program. What's the differences in that?
Well, we have more time to tell the story. When we first did them, it was more difficult. The first movie, after it was finished, we said, now we know how to do these 2-hour forms.
Yeah.
We expected it to be over sooner. Now we're really getting the hang of the 2-hour ones, and we love them.
He's going to
deny
more money,
there's more
time.
Present you for accusing.
The production values are a little different. Plus, I think the concentration on story is different. Because in a movie, you have to have something that has a real finish on it. It's not that open-ended thing of, tune in next week and see what happened then.
Mm-hmm. You have both been very vocal about very fine actresses being over 40 and have very few parts to choose from.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, there's always more actresses than there are actors.
I think that's also why we're out there plugging our own show, because CBS has only given us 2 weeks' notice in which to let the people know, and I think it's because we're over 40, and we're not interesting to them. But they don't know really that the audience would like to see these 2 women, so we're out there to tell them.
And yet, last year's Cagney and Lacey special was one of the second highest rated show on all the networks.
Except by 1/10 of a point, the highest rated show of all 4 networks all year.
100,000 houses.
And who won?
And who won was Jimmy Garner in his return show.
Right.
But as a reward for his
And he's
numbers,
over 40.
He's over 40. He's a guy, and he gets an order of 6 more. And we get to wonder whether or not we ever get to make any more ever.
Okay, well, we're over time just for now. Mm-hmm. But we're going to be back with Tyne and Sharon right after this, so don't go anywhere.
Still ahead, the Winans put heart and soul into a new album. 3 guesses what it's called. And Vicki Lawrence earns for Wings, helping us find the ideal Halloween costume. 2 Oscar winners celebrate birthdays Tuesday. Kevin Kline, who won for A Fish Called Wanda, is 48. F. Murray Abraham, who won for Amadeus, is 56. And former Rolling Stones bassist Bill Wyman is 59.
My hair was totally fried. Infusium made a difference like that.
Infusium 23 leave-in treatment. It's the leave-in Beth believes in.
I can finally comb through this hair when it's wet.
It's the leave-in Sherry believes in. Infusium 23 leave-in treatment corrects, restores, structurizes damaged hair. After 1 use, hair looks healthier.
I believe that it has saved my hair. Infusium is like a miracle.
Infusium 23, the leave-in you'll believe in. Something else to believe in. Infusium shampoo. You'll love it.
America's always been a country of inventors, a nation of relentless tinkerers, a land of improvisation. Businesses start in garages, hobbies turn into industries. And if you're Bank of America, you hold up your end of the job by making sure every business service is in place. or when the next brainstorm hits in the middle of the night. Banking on America. Bank of America.
Every year we show you how the Isuzu Trooper is built to handle whatever life throws in your path. Over the years, we've refined the Trooper to make it even tougher and added new equipment to deal with fresh hazards. Well, after all these years of adding stuff to the Trooper, we thought it was time to take a little something off it. The price. Right now, you can get some of the best prices of the year during the great Isuzu clearance event. We didn't think you'd mind.
News travels fast.
This just into headline
That's
news.
why people turn to headline news for continuously updated news. Because it doesn't matter what hour of the day it is, the time for headline news is always now.
My voice, yes.
Oh, your voice? Okay.
Have you two heard about the new movie called Powder?
It looks very unusual.
Well, it's about a boy who gets struck by lightning and he sort of gains magical powers.
I'll bet he's a bundle of energy.
An electrifying story.
And it co-stars Mary Steenburgen,
Who recently married Ted Danson,
That is right. And let us find out more about that and more about the movie from Sherry Sylvester.
Mary Steenburgen has made 4 films this year, but her biggest production may have been her marriage earlier this month to actor Ted Danson.
Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen don't get married without a lot of laughs.
The bride provided some comedy as Morning Rain and Muddy Ground prompted a change in footwear for the outdoor ceremony.
I had always loved my gardener's red clogs that she was wearing when she would work in the yard, and so I said, would you mind terribly if I wore your red clogs, under my dress? And so consequently, when I started walking up the aisle, everybody burst into laughter.
Steenburgen hopes to take a career break to spend some quality time with her new husband, but first she is promoting Powder, a film in which looking different is played for drama.
You look like some kind of vampire from outer space or something.
She is a social worker to the strangely evolved Powder, played by the star of the young indie TV series Sean Patrick Flannery. Powder's albino looks and genius mind make him an outcast. The actor's transformation required a close shave from head to toe and up to 4.5 hours of makeup.
It's an airbrush. They use compressed air, so it's freezing. And we shot it in Houston in like January, February, so it was about 30 degrees. We had to leave the doors open in the trailer for ventilation, so we didn't get stoned while we were putting the makeup on.
He describes his look as an androgynous mosquito larva kind of thing. After the camera stopped rolling, he experienced some of the treatment his character gets in the film.
I mean, I was bald, I didn't have eyebrows, and I mean, it was different the way people would approach me and say something. I mean, even if I was in a restaurant, it was different the way people would ask me, do you want a cup of coffee? As opposed to, would you like a cup of coffee?
The film's theme of being judged on the basis of one's skin tone seems particularly timely.
Everybody's experienced fear of someone else who's really different that they don't understand. That's really at the heart of, racial tension.
Powder opens in theaters this weekend. Steenburgen and Flannery have made another film together. The Grass Harp is a Christmas release. Sherry Sylvester, CNN, Los Angeles.
Now, Wednesday night's a big night because Cagney Lacey is on, but then comes Halloween. Do you guys have any plans?
Halloween, you know that Halloween is my very, very favorite holiday?
No.
It is. It's my favorite one. Because a great many people think that it's about candy. But it's not about candy. It is a holiday designed to instill an appreciation of costume in the very young.
It isn't about candy?
No, darling, it's not about candy. It's about dress up. Like acting.
Candy.
Well, speaking about dress up and not candy, sorry, Sharon, we went looking for the perfect costume in Hollywood with a little bit of celebrity help.
Who'd you get to do that?
Well, we got our old friend Vicki Lawrence, and she went through the... You like her. And she went through the toil and all the trouble with Gloria Hillard.
Okay, first we went to one of those Halloween costumes in a bag stores. Lots of fantasy, no natural fiber, where we found some old standbys.
Some people can wear hats and some people can't.
There were witches' hats, Michael Jackson's hat.
Michael Jackson or a Hasidic Jew. Take your pick. It's versatile. You can use that for 2 years in a row.
Movie hats and cats.
You go too old to get into the musical? How am I doing? How am I doing?
There it is. Well, there goes a perfect casting opportunity for Sister Act 3, maybe Flintstones the sequel.
Wait a minute. Hey, the arm. I'm much faster because I spent so many years on the film and you chose. bad hair day.
We found an Elvis jumpsuit.
Oh, God, it's kind of sad, isn't it?
It is. And his glasses.
God, it's like the spirits take you over here, don't they? You have the nose and glasses? Well, we probably should have a comparison.
Okay.
Gloria, could you do something with my nails? Is this an avocado mask? This is too much typecasting for us. We should do something else. I think that's good for my image.
Maybe one of those Hollywood costume shops that rent to the studios. Maybe that's the answer.
Look, I think it's truly comfortable.
I like those on you.
I think they're pretty good. They're a lot more comfortable than these heels.
Don't talk back to me.
If you can. But don't you treat me like a bimbo?
But you are a bimbo.
I'm not.
Are too.
I'm not. Oh, so confused. Wouldn't you love to drive home on the freeway in this?
And after shopping all day, Vicki Lawrence finally found the perfect costume.
I'm just glad some fella didn't rent this for Halloween. Then I wouldn't have been able to model it for you.
Gloria Hillard, CNN, Los Angeles.
Tomorrow, Nicolas Cage blows his money on wine, women, and chips in Leaving Las Vegas.
The ocean is basically the world that the fish go to grow up. But back up in the streams, the steelhead and coho were struggling to survive. So Georgia Pacific decided to help. We're putting boulders and logs in the water to create calm pools where the fish can live and thrive until they head off for the ocean. I'm proud we're doing the right thing to help the fish. And there they go.
From director Jodie Foster comes a motion picture about the people we were.
Is this you? Look at that Charlie's Angels hair, too.
The people we've become.
I'm glad he's waiting. We gotta go.
And the people.
Everything's changing. Even things we hated, like shoveling the turkey and stuffing the snow.
We have to thank for it.
Here's to us.
Oh, man. A woman.
Home for the holidays. Rated PG-13. Special sneak preview Saturday, October 28th.
We matched a hard-hitting former prosecutor with a tough-as-nails defense attorney. Together, they take a provocative look at today's most compelling cases. Greta Van Susteren and Roger Cossack. Burden of Proof. Weekdays, 12:30 Eastern on CNN.
It is. Excuse me, ladies, we just have a little show to do right now.
Okay, sorry.
They really like
Having
each other, and they get along, and they chat during the commercials. Anyway, it's a very big day in New York. Not only is it the 50th anniversary of the United Nations, they actually had a sandwich named after them for the second time at the Stage Deli.
Our second sandwich, yeah.
True.
We get a sandwich once a decade. It's kind of cool.
You won an Emmy. What's the difference with having a sandwich named after you?
Emmys are really hard to eat.
Garlic.
Okay. Yeah. Well, speaking of ham, which was in their sandwich, Tyne, I know that you have an absolute wonderful singing voice.
She certainly does. She won the Tony for Gypsy. I saw it 4 times. She was fantastic.
Now, since you can't do a little number, Sharon, can you just take over?
Oh, sure. Some people can be content.
Okay. Well, for anyone who appreciates singing, there is a wonderful album coming out today, and it's by the Winans.
And they are an inspirational gospel group from Detroit.
And Ron Tank reports their latest album comes straight from the heart and soul.
You think that one?
My heart
The video is for the new album Heart and Soul by the Winans, 4 brothers who have blended traditional gospel music with rhythm and blues.
We've sort of taken gospel music out of the church and put it in the reaches of mainstream Americans.
Put your hands together and welcome the Winans.
I mean, it's the kind of music, we've been doing from first album on to the 9th.
Listen, never before. Has anyone spoken in my life to take all the wrong and make everything all right?
Marvin, Carvin, Michael, and Ronald have been recording together since 1981. They've been singing together much longer.
Yes, we sang around the house, and we taught each other songs that we wrote, no matter how corny or what the subject matter was. And our father and mother had a lot to do with our training vocally.
In fact, Mom and Pop Winans, they're in the middle, taught all 10 of their children to sing. BB and Cece Winans each picked up a Grammy in 1989 to go along with the 5 Grammys their 4 famous brothers have earned.
Count it all joy. Even when I sing so hard.
Surprisingly, the 1996 tour will be the Winans' last. They'll concentrate more on writing and recording and less on traveling. And while the music will continue to sound like contemporary R&B, the message will still echo the Winans' deep gospel beliefs.
I think that our music is like a spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down. It just takes a little, sweetness to get it in there.
Just have a chance, and I'll show the whole world how to dance.
For the Winans, it's a prescription for success. Ron Tank, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
And on that uplifting note, we will end our show, and I would like to take a second to thank Sharon, Gless, and Tyne Daly for stopping by and helping out today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Laura, for having us. You were very patient with us. We're new at this.
Well, we only have 30 minutes. So it's on tomorrow night, Cagney Lacey, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. We'll see you then. And we will see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us today. So long.
Showbiz.
Good. Good.
You can join in later on. Yeah. Hey. Listen. After he told a woman her sins were pardoned, a pop came along, said, "Who do you think you are? You don't know the wrong, you don't know all she's done. Who gave you the right? Who told you you could forgive anyone?" But he said,